told me about 3 months before that I want you to be my quarterback for life. Like, I like who you are. I like what you're doing in the field. I like your game. I like everything about it. I want you to be my quarterback for life. He changed, fired Levin Bennett in that interim of that time and brought in Ray Perkins. Ray Perkins shows up and looks at me and he's like, number one, I hate lefties. Number two, I hate scramblers. And it was like, we're in trouble. So then he called me and said, you've been traded to the Cardinals. I called Mr. Culverhouse. I said, Mr. Culverhouse, you said I was your quarterback for life just 3 months ago. You can't send me to the Cardinals. If you're going to send me away, you got to help me. And he goes, Steve, I'll nix it. I'll fix it. You go. I'll give you a week. Go figure out what you want to do and call me back. That man, I owe a great debt.
Unbelievable. Does Roy Green know he could have been playing with you? My dear friend Roy Green, his life would be different if he played with you. The whole league would be different. It would be. The Cardinals would still be in St. Louis.
Nothing against St. Louis. It's just the Buccaneers and the Cardinals. I needed to get, I don't know, I needed something more. So I was, anyway, thanks you guys.
Worked out. Most of us would say it worked out, didn't it?
Wow.
You can catch more of Steve on Monday Night Countdown, this week featuring the Raiders and the Chiefs. Let's take one last break, but still to come, will the Colts or the Broncos come away with the win tonight?
Steve traded the arch for the bridge. I know you love the arch, Tony, but this is a trade up. I'm sorry. You're fascinated with the arch, but the bridge is better. Albert Pujols responds to the clamor for him to come back for another season. The Cardinals would still be in St. Louis if Steve Young had been traded there. They wouldn't have even gone. They'd still be there. Huh?
You know what?
Wilbon, Tony, a new study suggests that it's healthier to eat dinner about 4 hours before you go to sleep.
And Tony Kornheiser. So for me, like about 3 in the afternoon, right? That's the right time.
Yeah, it's called lunch, is what that's called.
Oh.
You got to ignore all these studies. You got to ignore these studies.
Really?
Yeah.
Ignore all studies. Michael Wilbon.
All of them.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Draymond Green reportedly swings at Jordan Poole, the Saudi tour, tests a loophole, and Steve Young joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with an intriguing strategy as reported by Joel Sherman in the New York Post. Sherman says Mets manager Buck Showalter is contemplating holding Jacob deGrom out of the wild card series against the Padres until the Mets are in a must-win situation. Showalter would start Max Scherzer in Game 1, and if the Mets won, Showalter would pitch Chris Bassett in Game 2. If the Mets won, Showalter would have deGrom against the Dodgers to open the next series. If the Padres series was tied at 1, deGrom would pitch Game 3. Wilbon, do you endorse this strategy?
I do, Tony. I do endorse the strategy because it's as pragmatic as you can get. It makes sense on every level, but it also makes a lie of everything every manager or coach has ever told you. Going back to the Little League or bitty baseball, whatever you played through now, it makes a lie of it because they all sit there and tell you we take it one game at a time. No, you don't. You have to think ahead. And usually, of course, general managers and executives get paid to do that. But in this case, the manager does. And I totally understand it. Again, it makes a lie of everything we've ever been taught about sports, every sport. But would I do this? Yeah. Would I sign off on it? Yeah. Do I think the Mets staff is going, yep, I think they are.
Yep. Yes, 100% agreement. I totally endorse the strategy. You have to look ahead because you don't want to be voluntarily in a situation where if you get to the Dodgers, you don't have either Scherzer or deGrom for 1 and 2. You just can't put yourself in that position. So I endorse it. There are flaws. One of the flaws might be, well, what if the Padres beat Scherzer? What if Scherzer's old teammate in Washington, Juan Soto, takes him deep a couple of times? You have to worry about that. But it is the right strategy at this particular point. Now, if I'm the Padres, I'm infuriated because basically what the Mets are saying is we're going to try to beat you with one hand tied behind our back. And without casting aspersions on anybody, let me say this. I believe Buck Showalter is in his 21st year as managing in the big leagues. And I'm not sure he's ever been to the World Series. So he's had a lot of time in October to think about this strategy, if you know what I mean. But yes, I agree with it. I totally agree with it.
Yeah, Tony, he did something like this with the Yankees and Jack McDowell. And it's too far back and nobody will pay attention except old people like you and
David Cohn. He did it with David Cohn. He did it with David Cohn.
Yeah. Yes, and now, and if I'm the Padres, I am using every bit of this. I'm wringing every drop out of it to come at them. To say they're not even taking us seriously. They're planning for the next series. What are they doing? That's what I would be saying. Let's move to the NBA, where Steve Kerr says Draymond Green wasn't at Warriors scrimmage today and will rejoin the team Saturday after throwing a punch at teammate Jordan Poole during yesterday's practice.